Hey there YouTube, Stormy here. I wanted to start off this video by saying that as of today, we are now at 25 plus subscribers, and I just wanted to personally thank all of you for contributing to the continual growth of this channel. I just recently got into the horror community, and it is very enlightening to see just how many people are willing to help each other out, and I just wanted to thank you all for that. Now, without further ado, on with tonight's story. If you hear the ringing, then it's already too late. By u/Mr. Mojo Ryzen 95. My town has a bit of a mystery to it. Flatsville, located right off of Route 303, has a history to it, of a sinister nature. We are all a small-knit community, approximately 800 residents. Flatsville serves as more as a stop off of Route 303, where truckers come for cheap liquor and dusty old motels. There isn't a whole lot of business to find here, especially as an up-and-coming novelist. I am taking the time now to send out some information, hoping someone out there can explain what the hell is going on in Flatsville. I first heard about the ringing in 5th grade. Susie Watkins and I were in the same grade. She had strawberry blonde hair and rows of freckles on her nose. And Susie was fairly well liked. She had great grades and had the social skills to match. When Susie passed, it was a shock to the whole town. At first, they thought it was an aneurysm. You just collapse one day, dead as disco, without any explanation or warning, just gone. Same thing that happened with Susie, which made the aneurysm case so solid. It truly was tragic. They named the school park after her. What made this case stranger was when Susie's mother, Teresa, started telling people about the ringing in her ear. Susie came home one day, complaining to her mother about ringing in her ear. Thinking nothing of it, Susie's parents cleaned her ears out and sent her off to play. Maybe they weren't trying to scare her. They had to have known about it. Susie complained each day after that, the ringing's intensity growing. Susie was missing school, complaining that she couldn't sleep because of the ringing. She wouldn't concentrate. She'd feel nauseous and get violent at times. All of these symptoms starting from constant ringing. 2 weeks after she told her parents, Susie was found face first in her bowl of bloody Cheerios at the kitchen table. Now, this may seem like a one-off kind of story, but people dying after hearing ringing is no joke around here. What's gotten everyone on edge after Susie died was how young she was. You never heard about a kid hearing the ringing. Normally it was adults, more often the elderly, complaining of a persistent, high-pitched ringing, often intensifying as days go on. You start feeling dizzy, nauseous, blood may trickle out of your ear, and then you just collapse. People will give you all kind of excuses as to what causes the ringing. The most popular cause is an old nuclear power plant that was decommissioned sometime in the early 90s. People say that the radiation from the plant causes the ringing, and the effects of the poorly planned decommissioning is still causing the ringing to this day. Personally, I only know 2 people who have died from the ringing. Susie Watkins and my old guitar teacher. I used to go to Mitch's house for guitar lessons every Wednesday afternoon. I'd ride my bike a few blocks to Mitch's trailer. He was about 26 at the time, and I thought he was the coolest guy out there. Well, one lesson, Mitch stops playing mid-song. I was playing rhythm, and he was leading when he suddenly stopped. He twitched his head to the side and jammed his pinky into his ear. "Everything okay?" I asked. Yeah, all good. Just extra earwax, I think," he replied. Mitch continued playing, but we ended the lesson shortly, saying he couldn't focus today. I didn't think too much of it until I saw Mitch at the music store 6 days later. He looked like he hadn't slept a minute. His face was pale and his eyes had dark circles underneath them. He looked wobbly, on edge, like someone was trying to sneak up on him. I tapped Mitch on the back and he nearly jumped out of his skin. "Holy shit," he spoke in a weak, strained voice. "You scared the crap out of me. Sorry, Mitch, I didn't mean to scare you. Find any good CDs today?" I asked him. Mitch mumbled something incoherently. "Sorry, what? Say that again," I replied. Mitch just stared at me blankly. "Mitch?" I called out. Mitch continued staring at me, hunching over as his mouth gaped open. "Mitch, is everything okay?" I asked again, taking a step back. A trickle of blood dripped from his face, crashing onto the floor. I watched Mitch, still as a statue, start bleeding from both of his eyes. Mitch didn't seem to notice as the blood raced down his face like tears. "Mitch, Jesus!" I cried, and the store manager, Andy, came running over after hearing me scream. Mitch fell onto the floor, blood continuing to race from his eyes and started to seep from his ears. He felt cold and his face looked like a skeleton. Pale and unshaven, Mitch trembled in my arms as Andy called an ambulance. They loaded Mitch into the ambulance, but he didn't make it to the hospital. He died on the way there. The examiners called it another aneurysm. The only town in America where you were more likely to have an aneurysm than anywhere else. I know what happened to Mitch. Hell, I think everyone does. It's just no one likes to talk about it. It's all a big secret. Everyone is just praying it doesn't happen to them. I watched as the years go by, and more people each year seem to die. What seemed like only a few people a year turned into at least a dozen. Almost like it's getting stronger. It's been a few days now. The ringing started on my way home from the gas station. I thought it was just an effect from listening to my music too loud, but it hasn't stopped. Sleeping has been impossible the last 2 nights. I just lie awake, staring at the ceiling. The ringing seems like it's getting louder. My head has been throbbing. It feels as if a drill is being forced deep inside my skull. And there isn't enough Advil to take that would help it. I'm starting to get scared. There was blood on my pillow and sheets last night. Please, if anyone is out there that knows what the hell this is or how to treat it, please contact me. I don't know how much time I have left. Hello there, YouTube. Stormy here. I hope you enjoyed tonight's story. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what you liked about it. And if there are any more stories that you would like me to do, make sure to comment those down below as well, and I will be more than glad to check them out. Now, you folks have a wonderful night, and I hope to see you in the next video. If we all survive.